Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and tonight I'm joined by Derek.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
We are back covering Wicked Wicked Games. We didn't forget you.
Thank
It's been a few weeks, but we watched a lot of episodes this time. We are talking about episodes 16 to 26. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get right into it. So, I totally forgot where we left off, and when I pressed play on episode 16, I skipped the previously on because they're like 5 minutes sometimes.
Right.
Then I was like, "Wait, what's happening?" I thought I missed something. I'm like, "Who's in trouble? What's happening?" I forgot that Aaron was having a panic attack.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I should have watched the previously on this one time.
Yeah. Sometimes I do just to refresh my memory.
I usually watch them in bulk though, so I'm like, I just saw this, I don't need
Yeah.
to see it, so I just skip it.
Mhm.
Um, so he ends up managing to call Josh, I think. Is that
Yeah,
what
he called
happened?
Josh. Yep.
And then Josh came over and he kind of calmed him down.
Yeah.
Got him to breathe into a paper bag.
Mhm.
Um, I guess he was panicking and he must have blurted out the plans falling apart,
Yes, he did.
which I forgot about until the recap episode, Josh's story.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it's good that they did that.
Yeah.
um, so there were a lot of twists in these
Mhm.
10-ish, 10 and 11 episodes.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of them you could kind of see coming,
Mhm.
but I was still like, oh shit, when it happened.
Yeah. Wait till the next like 10 or so. You're gonna be like, what?
um, so I guess the first big oh shit moment was when everybody was like coming down on Theo because they thought he was going to propose to Blythe.
Yes.
Now, when they had the brunch,
Mhm.
I kind of was like, oh, is he? Because it was getting close to the end, and he hadn't done it yet. I was like,
Mhm.
is he gonna propose to Hope? But I kept flip flopping because the things he was saying could have gone either way.
Right. They
So
really
when it went to Hope, I was like, oh shit.
did.
Blythe was pissed. I was so excited to see her pissed.
Mhm.
Um, I love the digs that she makes at Hope. She's constantly
Totally
referring
do.
to her as a maid. And then she's just like, I'm fine. No, I wanted it to go this way.
Yeah, complete 180.
So also totally forgot that Lonnie
Mhm.
knows Taylor because she ran into him with
Right. In the
Daniel,
earlier.
Aaron Daniel, and
Mhm.
they said that they used to work together. Totally
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I really like Lonnie. I just need her to grow a backbone.
Yeah. I
Even
agree.
if she feels like this blind loyalty to Blythe, I just need her to be like, listen, I'm on your side. I'm gonna do what you want me to do, but you need to stop touching me because I'm gonna beat your ass if you keep hitting me.
Oh, yeah. You saw that scene, right? Oh,
Okay, so now this is the second time that Blythe has grabbed her by her hair,
yes.
and I just want Lonnie to be like, "You grab my hair one more time, I'm gonna break your wrists."
Yeah, and then she broke that butterfly and made her clean it up with her hands.
When she said, "I got you a gift because I thought about you," and I was like, "It was glass," I was like, "This isn't gonna last long."
No.
You caught her in a lucid moment, and she's gonna
Right.
snap, and it's gonna go.
Well, she's like, "You're pitying me?" And she just throws it, and I'm like, "Okay."
She's so unhinged. Oh, another thing that some of my favorite parts of this show are when Blythe is just talking into the webcam.
Oh my god, yeah.
I could like watch a sizzle reel of just those scenes from the whole series of her just talking into the webcam.
Oh my god, the things she says. I think early on, she's in these episodes. She says she hates Theo more than she loves her own sons.
Yes. She was like, that doesn't make me a bad mother.
Right?
Um, so I want to like Emma, but she's kind of annoying. With her whole relationship with Edward
Yeah.
because she doesn't like him.
She really doesn't.
She's just with him for the sake of saying she's with somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're pretty. Like, go meet somebody else. Like, he doesn't like any of the things that you like. He picks fights with you. Oh, when they moved in together
Hmm.
and they had a fight. Oh, first of all, these two love candles. They love to leave candles lit in this house.
Hmm.
She came home and he set up this whole elaborate, like, romantic night. He left to go do something, and the candles were left lit in
Yeah.
the apartment. So that's the first thing. Second thing, there was a row of candles at the edge of the bed that were left lit, so that whole bed could have went up in flames. Just fired hazard. People at home watching this, blow your candles out before you leave.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so they had this fight where I think she was like, "You don't even listen to me."
Hmm.
And somehow she ended up apologizing to him, and I was like, "No, no." And then they like
Yeah.
laughed about it, and they were like, "I think we just had our first married fight." I'm like, "No, no, this isn't healthy." Because he's still carrying on with Jennifer, who I'm starting to like more, even though she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, Jennifer's very devious. I'm enjoying her character.
Um, Josh sent Emma a watch.
Yes.
Wait, I might be skipping ahead.
Yeah, a little bit.
So something happened where now Blythe is pushing Aaron to pursue Brooke.
Yes, because I think Josh talked her into it because he was like, Josh is already in love with Emma, and what's the difference if I pursue Brooke or not? And she's like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, we can like get the money away from Josh. We can figure out something." And she's like, "Okay," and she kind of like changes her
Right.
tune. Yeah.
Um, yeah, because he said it would just be easier because he's like, she already wants me. So
Right, exactly. At first, Blythe is pissed. She's pissed off because he disobeyed her and slept with Brooke. And when she find out she slept with Brooke, she's really fucking angry. Oh, sorry.
oh, and she knows that
Yeah,
because her and Brooke have been hanging out. They've
yeah,
been going
yeah.
out to lunch,
Yeah,
dinner,
she told
and
her when they were having dinner together.
sh- Tatum O'Neal's amazing because like her eye twitched when she heard
Mhm.
that it was Daniel.
Yeah, she did.
She just has these like subtle nuances where you're just like, oh, she's not happy right now.
Mm-mm, not at all.
I really like the scenes with Brooke and her.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden now Brooke is like going out to meet up with her friend whose name I can never remember, Cherry, right?
Cherry. Hmm.
And Cherry's like with her fruity drink, trying to get like blasted and like hook up with guys. And now
Hmm.
all of a sudden, because she had dinner with Blythe, Brooke is just like, I'll have a glass of white wine. And then
Hmm.
she's like, you're settling. She's like, you should aim higher and not just try to hook up with these randos. So then Brooke points out a guy that's like sitting alone at the bar drinking whiskey, and she makes Cherry go flirt with him
Yeah.
because she's like, he's drinking whiskey. My father drinks whiskey, and he's successful and rich.
That's logical.
And then the guy says that he saw that Cherry was drinking wine. Oh, because Cherry decided since Brooke is now drinking wine, she's gonna drink wine. She's such a follower.
Hmm.
I was kind of hoping that there would be more to Cherry's story
Hmm.
from earlier in the series when she mentioned to Brooke that her paycheck hadn't cashed yet or something, or she hadn't
Hmm.
made it to the bank. I was
Right.
kind of hoping that was like a breadcrumb to something more, but it never really evolved into anything.
No, we don't really. Cherry's kind of a very minor character.
Also, poor Madeline. That's
Yeah.
the aunt.
Mhm.
Um, she doesn't have a story. She still hasn't met her online boyfriend.
Please,
We're 26 episodes in.
please. And it's funny, I was reading the email he wrote her. He, like, knows a lot of things. Like, she tells him, like,
Yes.
all these, like, deep, dark secrets. He's like, "Brooke
Mhm.
will be okay," or "Emma will be okay," or whatever, like, the case may be. I'm like, "You're" she's really, like, opening up to this guy she's never met.
Um, I know I'm all over the place because I don't really remember when things happened because there were so many oh my god moments. It's kind
There
of like
were
just
really
want
a
to like
lot,
blurt them
yeah.
all out. But so this is actually something that happened before the engagement happened.
Mhm,
Theo got a background information on Blythe, I think,
mhm.
or Josh. He found out who
It was
Josh's mother
Josh.
was.
It was Josh, and
Okay,
that's how he found out that Josh was Blythe's son.
right.
And that's
So
why he set up a whole proposal thing to
right, which
yeah.
that part threw me because by the
Mhm.
time we got to the proposal, I had completely forgotten that the last episode ended with him getting the information and we didn't know
Yeah.
what he was looking at. So I was like, when he explained it to Blythe, I was like, oh shit, this is
Mhm.
really good.
Oh, yeah. "I know
And
about
it,
your son," or whatever he said to her, and then she's like, what are you talking about?"
but like, so him being with Hope kind of made me like him more again.
My whole thing is, why was Hope saying yes to him? He really put her through the ringer with this whole thing. And, like, she wasn't even gonna go to the luncheon or whatever, and then Maddie's like, "No, you should go, and,
Mm,
you're better than that," and they end up going. And I do love that scene where Madeline kinda puts Blythe in her place. That was really funny.
yeah. um, yeah, you're right. I thought about that because, like, what if Hope didn't go? Like,
Yeah.
the point of this luncheon was to propose to her, and what if she didn't show up?
How did Theo know that she was gonna end up showing up?
Right. Was he just not gonna go through with it, I guess, if she wasn't there?
Right, unless Madeline knew ahead of time, which I don't think she did.
No, because she was shocked.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Um, yeah. So, um, what else happened? Oh, so Emma and Edward, I keep wanting to call him Edwin, go away for I don't even know how long they were supposed to go away, a weekend, a week,
Yeah,
to the family's beach house, I think.
yep.
And
Which was weird to me because don't they have a beach in San Diego? Like,
right?
yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
yeah.
Well, at first I thought it was a cabin because it looks like a
They said
cabin.
cabin, and they were at the beach in that one scene, so I'm like, so there's a beach in this cabin, I guess. Yeah.
um, and Edward doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to lay on the beach. He doesn't feel good, so he says. But
Right,
meanwhile, he's like on the phone with Jennifer,
exactly.
um, who blocks a present from Josh
Mhm,
to Emma. It's a watch.
right.
She like takes it for herself,
Yep, but she also shows it to Edward later on, and
which
he's
I
like,
was surprised about.
yeah, and she's like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And he's like, "Nothing." Like,
He's like, pretend you never saw it, and she's like,
exactly.
I'm keeping this.
Yeah.
He's like, Emma never saw it. She doesn't know it's hers.
Right?
um, so I guess one of the important details that we find out is that Blythe and Aaron have taken out 3 consecutive loans
Yeah,
on the tides.
right.
And it was done all at the same time so that when a background check was done, there
Mhm.
was no other
Charges,
loans
yeah.
to look up. Um, which puts him in $60 million
Yeah, it was 60
in debt.
$60 million, yeah.
Yeah. Um, we also had a confrontation between Blythe and
Hope, yeah.
Theo. Well, I don't really know if it was confrontation, but he's so stressed out that he started to kind of have a heart attack, even though they said it wasn't a heart attack.
Right. See, that was confusing for me because, like, I feel like I thought it was a dream. I didn't think she was really there, and then I was like, maybe she
Oh,
was there.
oh, that's right, because the aunt was having that dream.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So that was a little confusing. I didn't know if that was real, and then or that was a part of Maddie's dream.
Oh, that's right. I didn't, because that is right. I didn't even think about that it was a dream.
Yeah.
Because he later, when they were having a confrontation, he said, "You left me on the floor."
Right. So
So,
maybe so now that was the whole thing was very confusing.
hmm,
Because I
yeah,
noticed that too. I'm like, so it wasn't a dream. Or maybe Thea was having that dream, and when he was like, on the floor, like he was just kind of out of it. Maybe that's what it was.
maybe. But we saw Maddie, like, wake up, and she was like,
Yeah, and then she went to the office and found him on the floor.
right.
Yeah,
So she must be kinda psychic also.
yeah, she definitely has some kind of gift.
So at the cabin, um, Emma can't sleep, so she starts, like, going through things, and she finds, like, a box that has a diary in it that was her mother's,
Mm-hmm.
and she finds out that her mother was in love with another man. Well, it doesn't really say that, it just it kinda says that she's not really fully in love with Theo.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another moment where we see that she read something and she's like, "Oh my god," but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Now, I kinda felt like we were going down this paternity route,
Mm-hmm.
but in my head, I was like, "Are both of them not his?" Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't, so when it was just Emma, I had a "Oh, shit" moment again.
Oh no, it is both of them.
Wait, it is?
Yeah. Brooke just doesn't know yet. They mentioned that it's both of them.
Oh, I thought it was just Emma.
No, no, it's both of them. Brooke,
I thought it was just Emma, but they didn't know how to tell Brooke that Theo wasn't her father. Like,
well, yeah, because Theo's not her father either. It's this.
but I thought they said that everything would go to Brooke.
No, 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 no,
Am I not understanding the details right?
no. I don't know. But no, Emma and Brooke both have the same father. It's just not Theo.
Oh,
Yeah.
they said that already?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. There was an episode.
That's why everybody's so concerned about telling Brooke?
Yeah, they don't know how to tell Brooke that
Oh,
Theo's not her dad. Yeah.
oh. Well, that makes more sense because I was like, "Who
Yeah.
cares?" And I was like,
Yeah.
that makes it a little bit more urgent,
Yeah.
I guess."
'Cause I
I
don't think she was worried about Emma not being her half sister, I guess. But like now,
Huh. Well, that made it more interesting.
yeah.
But she doesn't tell Edward. She
Mhm,
literally packs up all his shit before he wakes up and is like, "We
mhm.
have to go back."
Yeah.
Um, he says he's just gonna go to the office, but he meets up with Jennifer,
Hmm.
um, who needs to learn to lock doors because they almost got caught doing it in
Like
his office by
many times. Yeah, by
Taylor.
Taylor. By oh my gosh.
So yeah, so back to Lonnie and Taylor. So they've been hooking up a lot, and
Hmm.
he always asks her about her past, and she never answers him.
Hmm.
So he asked her if he could take her out to lunch, and she's like, "I don't know. My boss doesn't really like it when we leave the office for lunch."
Hmm.
But he convinces her to, so she tells Blythe she's going out to lunch, and Blythe's kind of like, "With who?"
Hmm.
And I was like, "Bitch, tell her you work and you are allotted 1 hour break." Like, that was fine.
Yeah, relax.
And then she's like, "Bring me something back."
Hmm.
um, but so while they're playing pool at lunch, I'm like, "Okay, so you have time to play a game of pool and have lunch in an hour?" I was like, "This doesn't feel real."
No,
I like her sister though, by the way. I
Violet.
wish
Yeah,
she has. Does she have a bigger role as it goes on, or is she just
yeah,
a side character?
yeah.
Oh, she does.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Um, but where I lost my train of thought. Oh, so they're playing pool,
Hmm.
and I think he said if I get this one in, I get to ask you one question.
Yep. Hmm.
And I don't remember what the question was, but I remember her saying that she was from Vegas.
Yeah. Well, I think it was something about her past. And
Yeah.
she kind of like was, working her way around it. But
I don't know what triggered this. Maybe it was just Aaron Daniels'
hmm.
fast movement of trying to get everything going.
Hmm.
But Taylor did like a background check with his
Yep.
HR from his former employer,
Yep.
and when the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we loved him here," I was like, "Did Blythe steal like a real person's identity and give
I
it
was
to
thinking the
him?"
same thing. I'm like, is there a real Daniel Carroll that she like, just stole the resume for?
Right? But then when he called Blythe to tell her that he did everything she told, he's like, and he'll accept the check or whatever. I was like, he was working for her.
Yeah. Hmm.
I was like, wow, HR is supposed to be in the up and up, and he's taking bribes.
Yeah. And then Taylor calls back not too long later, and a girl answers, and it's like, "No, I don't know who he is."
Yeah,
But
he's not in our system, she said.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
like, yeah.
that's right. Hmm.
And then she's like, I could talk to my boss and see. She's like, maybe there's just a glitch or whatever. And he's like, yes,
Yeah,
call me back.
yeah,
So when he confronts Daniel about this, Daniel's like, you're just now doing a background check on me after I've been doing the job, not
right,
before I
right.
started doing the job.
Yeah,
And then he's like, well, how did you have time to work there when you said you just graduated in the spring? And he's like, I did my internship there. I was like,
right,
that was
right.
good thinking.
That was good thinking.
Um, what else happened? Oh, so then there was a scene with Lonnie and Taylor in bed
Yeah. Hmm.
where he's questioning where where she worked with Daniel, and
Hmm.
she's not a good liar.
She's really not.
Like her face gives everything away.
Hmm.
So she just won't give him a straight answer.
Hmm.
And because she knows pretty much everything that's been going on, um, she tells him that he needs to look at the books, and he's like, "I look at the books." She's like, "No, the other books." He's like, "What other books?"
Yeah,
She's like, "If you care about your job," she's like, "just look at the other books," and she like runs out of his apartment.
right. Well, the thing is, she didn't realize that Taylor was going to get fired, or she
Right,
would have said something sooner.
right.
Yeah,
Because Blythe said that she's gonna fire everybody that has loyalty to him,
exactly.
and she's like, "Oh," she's like, "I thought we were just targeting Theo."
Yeah, yeah.
She's like, "I didn't know my
How
new
naive
boyfriend."
of her.
Um, what else? What else? Is there any twists that I'm missing?
Oh, yeah. Um,
Oh, so in the Josh's story episode,
mhm,
there, which was basically a recap of all his scenes, but they
mhm,
did it in a way where it was like he was having a dream about things that had happened, or he was just like
mhm,
having a memory of things that happened between him and Emma.
mhm,
But he's trying to find Aaron, as
mhm.
he knows him, his brother,
Right.
and he uses like a spare key to get into his apartment,
Mhm,
and he starts going through his things because he's starting to piece together things that have been said and why things have been so weird lately.
mhm.
And he goes through his drawers and he finds a whole file with pretty much the plan that
Yeah.
that Daniel and Blythe have been doing.
Mhm. Well, he also puts pieces together that Blythe and Aaron were the ones that framed him for the whole incident with Valdemar. So that's kind of where his
Right.
suspicions start, and then he finds the file later on. Yeah.
Right.
And it was funny to me because he was looking in the bushes for a key. I'm like, why would Aaron hide his keys in the bushes like
Right.
that?
At first, I didn't even know whose apartment he was at. I was like, is he
Yeah,
at Edwards? I was like, is he going to break into Edward's apartment?
yeah.
There were so many times that Edward and Jennifer were hooking up that I kept expecting Emma to walk in on them. I'm like, all right, we're
Mhm.
a little bit deeper in the series. I was like, I feel like there's a reveal happening soon.
Right.
Um, And when Emma finally tells Edward that Theo's not her father,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that her mother's will says that the girls have to be 25, graduated from college, and married to get their share of the tides.
Right.
Um, he kind of turns his head and he just smirks.
Yeah,
And I was
he's
like,
really
"Ugh."
excited about it.
And Theo didn't want them to know that or anybody else to know that because he didn't want men pursuing them, hoping
Right.
to get a piece
Exactly.
of their money or their inheritance.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's kind of confirmed that Edward's just basically using her for,
yeah, pretty much.
which we kind of already knew, but yeah.
Yeah. um, so Theo is visited by somebody that I can only describe as from like the FCC.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out where he was from too, but like yeah, I would say like the F at that what is the Federal Bureau
Yeah,
Exchange Commission or something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
and is basically accusing him of using the tides in order to leverage multiple loans.
Yes.
And Theo's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I'm not. I didn't do that." And he's like, "We have your signature."
Hmm.
And he's like, "I sign like a million papers a day."
Right.
And Taylor's like, "You didn't stop to like look at what you were signing."
Yeah.
Um, so that's where we find out that he's gonna owe 60 million or face prison time.
Yes.
And then
And it's funny that you brought up the line of credit in the first episodes that we did, and I was like, yeah, that does come into play.
um, yeah, so apparently there somebody comes to the rescue. We know who it is,
Mhm.
but
Pendleton
yeah,
Holding Corporation is what the name was that she was using.
yeah, and they're offering to cover 40 million of the 60 million
Yeah. Yep.
in exchange for 51% of the tides.
Yeah. Controlling interest.
And Theo's immediately like, no, he's not, because it's his daughter's inheritance.
Right. He's not going to do that.
He's like, I said no when you wanted to go public, and I'm saying no to this.
Hmm.
um, but Brooke, who I guess at some point she started working there and taking it seriously.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not really sure where it's in design, right? Like
She's
interior design.
doing like she's designing the annex, like the
Right,
curtains, the furniture, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
right. So she's been taking that seriously. Plus, Daniel's been paying attention to her, so she's happy
Mhm.
about that.
Right.
um, Blythe has given her the confidence to feel like better about herself and dress more appropriately and drink more appropriately.
Right. It's funny that Blythe is like a good influence on her.
Right.
Very ironic.
um. Oh, side note: did you watch Revenge?
Yes, I did.
This reminds me of a more campy, soapy, like version of Revenge. Like it was like
Yeah,
5 years before Revenge.
yeah, I can see
Love
that.
Revenge. Um. So Brooke is telling him, like, basically giving him permission. She's like, "If it's mine," she's like, "We'll just figure it out." She's like, "I don't want you to go to jail. Like, you have
Exactly.
to sign the papers."
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Josh is trying to find Emma with this big folder that he found of everything that's going on.
Mhm.
Um, she knows that Blythe is his mother because of the revelation from Theo.
Right.
But he tells her that Daniel is his brother
Mhm. Yes.
and that he's been working with Blythe to basically steal the tides from underneath them.
Mhm.
So they're running around trying to find Theo. Josh almost gets pretty much arrested on site because
Mhm.
he was the one that was accused of drugging Voldemort.
Yeah.
But Emma's like, I don't care what my father said. I'm telling you to let him go. So he gets away with that.
Mhm.
But she's too late, and Theo signs the papers, not knowing who is behind this. He
Mhm.
should have known, honestly.
Yeah. Who else would it be?
Like, you know how she is, and she's
Yeah.
currently in your life and wants to hurt you. Like, why wouldn't you think it's her?
Hmm. Do
Um,
you think he would have signed if he knew it was her?
no. Uh, no.
Yeah.
I think he would have went to jail
Hmm.
and would have tried to find some way out of it from jail.
Right. Mhm.
um, but then, like, I don't know what would happen. Would the bank then own it because
Probably.
he defaulted on his loans?
Or Bryce could buy it for the bank, basically.
Right. Um, so Blythe comes in. It
Hmm.
was funny because she had like her crew. She had like Lonnie, her lawyer that she sometimes sleeps with,
Hmm.
and Daniel, Aaron.
Yeah. I don't want to cry.
And it didn't happen in this episode. It'll probably happen in the next. But I was waiting for Taylor to see Lonnie and realize that she works for Blythe.
Yeah, he hasn't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, we kind of ended there, so it'll probably happen in the next episode.
Yeah.
Um, she has a private conversation with Theo, basically gloating
Hmm.
that she now owns 51%. Um, my takeaway from what she was saying is that this exact date must be the anniversary of when he broke up with her.
That's possible. I didn't catch that. She was more like, "This is what it feels like to have everything taken away from you, everything
Yeah,
you
because
love." Yeah,
I think she said something like it's been 25 years to the day.
really. That's
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene. Okay, I want
So yeah, I think she said something like that. So she planned this. So see, maybe that's why it was like at 5 o'clock. Maybe he broke up with her at 5 o'clock.
like the exact minute.
She would be crazy enough to remember a detail like
She
that.
probably would.
5 o'clock p.m. is when my heart broke 25 years ago.
Her life changed forever. One thing we didn't talk about was the cat fight at the boutique with
Oh my god,
Rose
how could I
and
forget
Blake.
that?
That was awesome.
It was because it started out with a slap,
Yeah.
but Blythe was like full on punching Hope,
Oh yeah. She was in it.
uppercutting her.
Yeah, she was like, that didn't hurt at all. And then she smacks her. Actually, she punches her.
When she said, "Do you have any wedding dresses with an apron?" like
Yes, that was
like
so
that she was a maid. Oh my god, yeah, that was really good. I was like,
yeah,
yes, finally a cat fight.
yeah.
um, there was a weird slap moment between Jennifer and Brooke. Like Brooke
Oh
slapped
yeah,
Jennifer.
that's right. Hmm.
I was like, that was an aggressive reaction.
It's funny because like when I watched those scenes, I didn't realize they didn't like each other, and then I kind of was like, maybe Jennifer's acting this way because she heard about what happened with Edward and the whole, her Brooke coming to his house and like trying to seduce him. So maybe like that's where her anger was coming from.
Right. That was the argument that Emma ended up apologizing for because she brought it up.
Yes. Hmm.
And then he was like, I thought we were past that. He's like, you're going to bring that up. And then she ended up apologizing. I'm like, no,
Yeah, that
you
was
bring that up all the time.
yeah, and I lost where like Brooke and Emma or Emma forgave Brooke for that whole thing. Like it seems like she's like okay with it now because she's like, well, we're sisters, we're close, we need to stick together, and Brooke's just like, what?
It must be Blythe's influence.
Yeah,
Um, I think that's pretty much it, right?
yeah. Let me check.
So as front and center as Aaron Daniel was in like the very, I
Mhm.
guess, first couple of weeks of the show, I feel like he kind of took a back seat in
Yeah,
these
for sure.
episodes. Like he was there, but he wasn't like essentially focused. I even feel like he was missing from episodes.
Yeah. There is one quote that Blythe said that I really liked in her like blog. It's romance is a prelude to emotional destruction. I wrote that down. I think that's she has some insightful things she says during those times, and I'm like, oh, okay. Crazy as she is.
I like how much she likes Domino's.
Yeah.
And when she was toasting herself when she had her bottle of champagne.
Oh yeah. She went on this rant about how like what it feels champagne feels like because it's bubbly and what revenge feels like or whatever. It's so funny.
um yeah, I don't know. I just hope now that we're like
Mhm.
doing all the twists and stuff that it just keeps up this pace and like just keeps on
Yeah,
coming.
for sure.
Especially now that it's revealed
Yeah,
who is
there's
doing
more
everything.
coming. It's crazy. It gets crazier. Like,
It'll be also given that like prior to this that Brooke really liked Blythe, it would be interesting with her being their new boss
oh, that is
if
something I
they end
want.
up working well together and actually liking her as the boss.
I can't remember how that plays out, but the one thing I wanted to mention was that Brooke saw that little portfolio on Bryce's desk or her coffee table, the ties
Mhm.
when she went to meet her, and
Yeah.
was let's just go to lunch.
Yeah.
And I just like, so does Brooke put this together? She didn't put it together that something was going on.
No,
Mm-mm.
because she was blinded by her love for Blythe.
Yeah, I guess so. I do like their relationship. I think they have great scenes together. That's the only scenes I like Brooke in, pretty much.
Yeah, me too, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, if you don't have anything else to add, I guess we can wrap this up.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another batch of episodes of Wicked Wicked Games. We will be back very soon with more. I feel like this is the furthest I've gotten in any one of these telenovelas. Honestly, I usually
Yeah.
bail, not because I don't like them, just because like I start watching something else and then I forget about it. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to actually finish one.
Yeah. This is a good one to finish for sure.
As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Good night.